Good evening and welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the Common Council of the City of Hartford. All proper postings were posted. I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask if you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Lori.
The mayor and all alderpersons are present except Alderperson Carroll, who is absent and excused.
We have before us a unanimous consent agenda. President Hagee moved to approve, second by Alderperson Turchi.
Motion by Alderperson Hagee, seconded by Alderperson Turchi, approving the Common Council minutes of June 14th, 2022.
Any comments, questions? Everybody read it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Communications, Lori.
I have nothing this evening.
Thank you. And at this time, we'll go appearances and citizen comments. Anybody wishing to address any issue about the city, you're welcome to come up front, state your name and address. You get 3 glorious minutes. Anyone? Third call. Hearing none, the mayor's report. And what I'm going to do is just read about our 4th of July fireworks moving to Independence Park, just to make sure everybody knows. The city of Hartford appreciates the generosity of Festival Foods, who is the 2022 4th of July fireworks sponsor. Wanted to thank you very much, Festival Foods. It's interesting because since on the 20th they opened up the Culvers, now all the questions are, when's Festival Foods going to open? Before it was always, when's the Culvers going to open? So just a tremendous amount of change here. Soon, please understand soon, and we'll announce that. But thank you again to Festival Foods coming into our community and sponsoring our fireworks. That's a wonderful thing. The display will take place on Monday, the 4th of July, at Independence Park, 880 South Wilson Avenue in beautiful Hartford. The show is scheduled to begin at dusk, so approximately 9:30. The show length is scheduled to be about 20 to 25 minutes. If you plan to watch the fireworks at Independence Park, you may picnic in the open park green lawn areas and sport fields, as that is not listed as restricted. In addition, follow and obey signage that will be posted as it concerns restricted and safety zone areas. There should be excellent viewing for all residents' homes that are located near Independence Park, and excellent hearing for the rest of the city, because my dog goes insane when the explosions happen, so it's always fun. There will be limited parking spaces within the parking lots of Independence. No parking is permitted on the park's lawns areas or along the park service roadway. Street parking is available on South Wilson Avenue next to the park, or possibly other nearby streets to find parking. So, and of course, as always, please pick up your litter and trash before you leave the park. So it should be a wonderful time on this coming Monday, the 4th of July. Be there or be square. With that, we have aldermanic requests. President Hagee.
Just a comment tonight, being out in my backyard, it's very nice to be able to hear all the activity over at the pool. Kids are hollering around, jumping, splashing, etc., and it's really nice to know that we're open and doing well. So, and with the weather, it's been especially good.
Alderperson Rusniak.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Alderperson Carroll is not here. Alderperson Garza.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Turchi.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Sikora.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Kohler.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Webb.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Fulop.
Yeah, I got something for Steve, actually, in regards to the fireworks. So we had a lot of parking available, I think, at the high school and along the roadsides and things like that. Is it equivalent at Independence Park, or are we going to stress those communities for that few hours that we'll be there?
I couldn't tell exactly how many parking spots are available in comparison to the high school parking lot. I would assume that there's going to be a little less parking lot space available in the park versus what is in the high school parking lot and adjoining streets. But it should not be an issue where, I mean, we're cutting the parking in half or something like that. So again, the purpose for moving the fireworks was twofold. One of them was the fact that we were not sure of the condition of the softball fields this year at Lincoln Fields with the pending referendum that was put before in April. And the second thing is the fact of the new fireworks needed a further setback, and that was not going to be allowed to us in Lincoln Field. So that's the main reasons that it was moved.
Okay, thank you.
Bigger fireworks. Good stuff. All righty. At this time, we'll take item number 9, a public hearing. This is a zoning request for 90 South Main Street from B3 General Business District to RD2, Two-Family Residential District. I'd like to open the hearing and ask for a reading of the notice.
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held at 7 p.m. or thereafter on June 28, 2022 in the Common Council Chambers at the lower level of City Hall, 109 North Main Street, by the City of Hartford Common Council to consider the following. Herrinder and Jessica Gill have requested the rezoning of the following property: 90 South Main Street from B3 General Business District to RD2 Two-Family Residential District. The purpose of the public hearing is to hear those persons who wish to express their opinions for or against the requested zoning change. A copy of the proposed ordinance can be viewed at the Planning and Zoning Department, 109 North Main Street, Monday through Friday between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Dated this 10th day of June 2022. This was published in the Daily News on June 10th and June 17th, and there were 39 notices sent.
Thank you very much. Next, we have explanation of hearing by staff. I don't see Justin, so I'm assuming our city administrator.
Justin's on assignment in Paris today, so I will be taking it for him. Again, the new owners of the former Westfall Mansion are requesting to change the zoning to their intended use, which is going to be two-family. So it would go from a B3 General Business District to an R2 two-family residential district.
Okay. With this, we'll go for appearances for. Anybody wishing to appear for is more than welcome to come up to the podium. You get 3 glorious minutes. Anybody for? Anybody for? Hearing none. Anybody appearances against? Anybody wishing to appear against the zoning request for 90 South Main Street? Anybody against? Anybody against? If not, discussion by council. Anybody have a question? This is pretty straightforward. I think we've talked about this before. Hearing none, I'll close the hearing and ask for action on ordinance number 58, which is a part of ordinance 278. That's the,
To suspend the rules
to suspend the rules,
for immediate consideration.
and seconded by Alderperson Fulop.
Motion by Alderperson Hagee, seconded by Alderperson Fulop to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of proposed ordinance 1458.
For suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. And now for the ordinance itself. Alderperson Webb, second by Alderperson Fulop.
Motion by Alderperson Webb, seconded by Alderperson Fulop for the adoption of proposed ordinance 1458.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. We have standing committee reports, finance and personnel. Chairman Rusniak.
We have 3 items tonight for consideration. Number 1, discussion and consideration of approving Class A, Class B, and Class C fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor licenses for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Lori, pretty routine procedure, right?
Yes, they're all renewals except there's one new one, which is Brewed Omen, but all the rest are renewals.
Any questions or comments for Lori? There were also no violations at all on any of these licenses,
None that I'm
correct?
aware of, no.
So that's wonderful.
That's good.
Sure. Not back to you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, for discussion and consideration or to move forward on the licenses, Alderperson Sikora, second by Alderperson Fulop.
Motion by Alderperson Sikora, seconded by Alderperson Fulop, approving Class A, Class B, and Class C fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023.
Mayor, can I
Yes, please.
suggest, I believe that Alderperson Sikora was actually raising his hand to say he is going to
Recuse himself.
recuse himself, yes. So
Oh, okay,
we would
you
have,
gotta
we'd
speak
have,
up.
we knew that.
You kept talking, so.
Oh, well, that happens.
I'll move to approve.
Okay, of course, and I meant to get Alderperson Kohler in there anyway, so Alderperson Kohler, second by Alderperson Fuller. With Alderperson Sikora recusing himself. He's so shy.
Do you want me to reread it?
Yes, please.
Motion by Alderperson Kohler, seconded by Alderperson Fulop, approving the Class A, Class B, and Class C fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Chairman Rusniak.
Item 2, discussion and consideration approving cigarette and tobacco and weights and measures licenses for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. There again, Lori, pretty routine stuff?
Yep, we do this every year, and this is a renewal, all renewals from last year.
Any questions or comments? If not, back to you, Mayor.
Thank you. For consideration, Alderperson Turchi, second by Alderperson Kohler.
Yes.
Motion by Alderperson Turchi, seconded by Alderperson Kohler, approving the cigarette and tobacco and weights and measures license for the period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you, Chairman Rusniak.
Final item, discussion and consideration of denying a personal injury claim for Beverly Digman. Steve, you want to explain this one?
Yes, Mrs. Digman had tripped on a service sidewalk outside of Washington Heights and had injuries, and the claim that resulted from those injuries of over $3,000. We had sent that forward to CIVMIC, which is our insurance company, and they reviewed the information, and based on the fact that the city was not aware of the fact that there was a trip hazard, thus they could not have fixed something they did not know about, they have made the recommendation to the city to deny the claim.
Any questions or comments? If not, back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. For denial of the personal injury claim, looking for a motion. Alderperson Sikora, second by President Hagee.
Motion by Alderperson Sikora, seconded by Alderperson Hagee, to deny a personal injury claim for Beverly Digman.
Any further discussion? Yes, please.
I believe that we routinely deny these, and what that does is put in place that if the person wishes to file a lawsuit, that gives them the grounds to do so.
Correct.
So that's why it's sort of a routine thing. And it isn't that we're not compassionate, but it just gets everything in motion if they wish to go that route.
It's also the city's way of basically stating that, based on the information which we received, we are not claiming to have any
Right.
liability for what happened.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolutions now, we have 11A, Resolution 3631, a resolution approving a certified survey map for a property located in the town of Erin, 5905 and 5917 Pleasant Valley Road. And with that, we go to, yes.
There's a correction. It's Pleasant Hill Road, not Pleasant Valley Road.
Oh,
It's out in the town of Erin, Pleasant Hill Road. Pleasant Valley's over by Jackson.
that's what I thought.
We don't
Oh,
have
we
review
shouldn't
authority.
change Erin to Jackson instead, maybe?
Well, on our thing here, it says
Okay.
Pleasant Valley.
Oh, you are correct. It does say Pleasant Valley, hence why I happen to read Pleasant Valley. But thank you for that correction. Okay. I take it that then goes to Steve Holker.
Again, this is something that came forward before the Planning Commission. This has to do with the certified survey map. Again, what they're looking to do in this situation is to move the whole thing into, it's Lot 1 and Lot 2, again owned by Gary and Roberta Soik, who has 7.9 acres, and we're transferring 0.43 acres to Lot 1, which is owned by Taylor Kohlberg, and again, the intent is to make it to one lot. which is 1 full acre.
Okay, would look for a move to suspend the rules for immediate consideration. Anyone?
We don't need to suspend for a resolution.
You don't,
Not a resolution.
but I wanted to today. I mean, it was something I really wanted to, oh, never mind. Okay, Alderperson Fulop, second by Alderperson Garza.
Motion by Alderperson Fulop, seconded by Alderperson Garza for the adoption of proposed resolution 3631.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 3632, a resolution adopting 2022 Statement of Project Intentions for Hartford Municipal Airport's 6-year improvement plan. And with that, we have our airport czar, Darrell Kratz.
Basically, this is my homework assignment every 2 years, to put a list together of things we'd like to do at the airport. Doesn't mean they're all going to happen, but as long as we have them on the agenda, if something does come up and we want to do it at the airport, I don't have to come to council right away and wait 2 weeks to get this all approved and go back. A lot of these are minor things like windsocks, if they would go out, or a beacon light, and we need to replace it right away. State won't do it unless we have our homework assignment done, basically. But some of these are bigger projects, like we're doing at the airport this year. We're putting in the Jet A fuel. GA entitlement funds, we get $150,000 a year every year, but they are doubling that for the next 2 to 3 years. They haven't decided which one yet. So they'll keep giving us more money to keep doing improvements at the airport. But again, it is a 90 Fed, 5 state, and 5 local share, which is still cheap. The fuel system this year is a $500,000 project. The city share is going to be $25,000. Again, that's a pretty good offset. On the average, we're making 50 cents a gallon at the fuel at the airport. Flight for Life, again, is interested in coming in, and they told me they're looking at 30,000 gallons a year, which is a $15,000 profit for us. So we will regain our money back within a couple of years, and that's without other Jet A fuel being sold. So again, I'm real and excited about the fuel system coming yet this year. But again, the things on the list are just that, things that we're looking at doing in the future. Another one of the bigger ones is to design the terminal building and to build a terminal building. But I think, Tim, you'll know how long this takes to get through the state and get it done. So this could be 3, 4, or 5 years before it's even built. But
Or 17.
right. In our entitlement funds, if we don't use them this year, we can regroup up to 3 years of entitlement funds, and that's the money we keep in our checking account out there, which is good. Oh, and again, it is just a homework assignment for me that we got to keep our improvement list said and done with the state.
Okay, well, questions on Darrell's homework? Alderperson Rusniak.
By putting this terminal building on the list, does that keep us in good measure with them? I mean, does that help us move up the list for future years?
There's really no future years. There's money out there. If you want money, it's railroads and airports. There's plenty. If you want to do it for the roads, they won't give you a cent. Okay. But it's not that. Midwest Turbine, we used to be air cargo out there, gave us a letter probably 12, 14 years ago that they would like the building to themselves and without the restrooms and stuff in it. And we always thought it would be nice to have our own little terminal building. It's not for luggage and things like that. It's offices basically and a shower for pilots when they come in. We have quite a few people that fly in, and the pilots stay in the lounge or in the area and wait till the guys are done golfing at Erin Hills. And I've been trying to get on the foursomes, but it's never worked yet. But again, it'll be a lounge area basically for pilots, and they fly in. And sure. The airports, it's very busy. It's getting busier and busier all the time.
Good.
President Hagee.
So on the Jet A fueling system, it's 270,000 entitlement funds, state funds 15,000, sponsor funds 15,000, total funds 3 million. So either the other items are...
Don't look those numbers over so close. Our bid came in at 495,000 to put in the Jet A.
So I presume the last item there is 300,000, not 3 million.
Right. But we are also updating the card reader out there, the electrical. So there's a lot going on, because if I can get away with updating everything out there at 5% our cost, I keep trying to do more of that.
Well, if our 5% share of 3 million actually came forward, I don't think any of us would be real happy.
That was the runway years ago.
Right.
That was a $7 million project.
Seeing we're talking about fueling, because I have been asked this question and this kind of a tangential relation to this. When people go there to fuel something, can they just buy it to fuel an airplane, or can they go there with a container and purchase fuel?
You can purchase anything at the airport you want, but it cannot go into a vehicle,
Right.
a licensed vehicle.
Okay, understood, because there's no road tax on
Right,
that
the
fuel.
93 octane is phenomenal for lawnmowers,
Correct.
snowmobiles, 5 gallon, I mean, yes, that you're legal to go out there and buy as long as it doesn't go in a licensed vehicle.
How do you do that without putting in a tail number?
You just press AAA, enter, and it works. You could put anything you want in there. And we have a computer readout inside the shed that tells me everything, but again, you can make up your own tail number and
like
just
it.
hit enter.
Okay, well, that explains it then. Thank you very much. That clarifies that. Alderperson Fulop.
Are jets allowed to land there?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. John Lee had his own. I think he sold it again, but many years ago, Harry Krogrucci would land out there with his real big ones, and one day I asked him, "Are you allowed to land here?" And he said, "No," but he says, "If I crash it, I'll buy another jet." So I guess you got to know your limitations. You got to know what your insurance will cover if you got
That's
too
what it
short a
is.
runway.
What you just
And
said,
things
it's an
like that.
insurance.
Yeah, it's
But
the
is the
insurance.
length of the runway qualified for
Sure.
most
Yes.
business jets?
Sure.
Okay.
It's
A lot of the
companies that want 5,000 feet.
A lot of the King Airs, they all have the reverse thrust on them and everything else too. So yeah, it's legal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, for the resolution adopting the 2022 Statement of Project Intentions for the Hartford Municipal Airport 6-year improvement plan, Darrell's homework. President Hagee, second by, Alderperson Fulop, I haven't been calling on you.
Motion by Alderperson Hagee, seconded by Alderperson Fulop for the adoption of proposed resolution 3632.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Next, our city administrator's report, the first quarter 2022 general funds result. Steve Ogre.
So again, this is our Fund 100, which again is your general fund. This does not include the utilities or outside accounts. But the general fund is showing a 27.54% of the total general fund revenues for the budgeted year at the end of the first quarter, which is good. I mean, you're trying to keep that above the 25%. Meanwhile, our expenses were at 24.08%, again, less than 1/4 of the budgeted year. Expenses are slightly higher than in the last couple of years. I would chalk that up to, gas prices and everything else, doubling versus what we anticipated. I believe last July, when we were looking at this, we were looking at budgeting for a $3 a gallon gasoline, and now that it's at $5 plus, again, obviously that's an issue. But overall, I mean, I think we're doing very well in both the revenues and expenses. It'll be interesting to look into this about the third quarter to see how those expenses are going versus revenues. So overall, again, this is a barometer as to how we're doing, and if there's any huge red flags, we'd bring that up at that time. But again, everything is relatively in par with the last 4 years that we looked at this. So any questions regarding financially how we're doing? And that is it.
Thank you very much. For adjournment, Alderperson Fulop, second by Alderperson Sikora.
Motion by Alderperson Fulop, seconded by Alderperson Sikora for adjournment at 7:23.
All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. We stand adjourned.